One very flexible way to alter a sound is by modulating it with audio. Depending on the strength of modulation and the relative frequencies of the sounds involved, many timbral colors are available. Check out the Timbre Farm series for an overview on frequency, amplitude, and ring modulation in the context of synthetic sounds. Today we'll use the tape and Microsound music machine to apply audio rate modulation to recordings of drums. So let's listen to this loop through the QPOS and mimeophone so we'll have something we can use to chew on these sounds. I'm using the high-pass outputs of the QPOS because it will let me accentuate the low frequencies without cutting out the high ones. See the QPOS resonating video for more examples. I'm going to focus on 3 inputs for this modulation: the QPOS frequency input, the mimeophone rate input, and the right input of the morphogene, which is set up for phase modulation using the options file on the SD card. Let's start with the filter frequency. Here I have a maths channel cycling very fast. Here's what it sounds like. Instead of monitoring it directly, let's use it as a modulator. Patching it to the frequency input immediately makes a big difference. Let's temper it with the attenuverter. Changing the starting frequency and the amount and direction of modulation gives us some options. Another thing I like to do is use the CV out of the morphogene to modulate the modulator. Let's patch it through a middle channel here to temper it, and then on to the fall input of this maths. Here's what this modulator would sound like if monitored directly. Okay, let's go ahead and repatch it to filter cutoff. Now let's bring in the mimeophone. I'm in zone 1, which is very short repeat lengths, suitable for flange type effects. Let's modulate rate with our dynamic math cycle. I now have quite a bit of space I can play in between these two modules. We can even break up the audio rate playground a little bit by switching to a longer zone. And or slowing down the math cycle. It's fun to find zones of legibility and zones of noise in this cross-dimensional mesh. Using the phase modulation input at this point might even be overkill, so let's go ahead and do it. I'll cycle this other maths channel and patch it to the morphogene's right input. Remember, Pmod must be set to 1 in the options text file. Of course, with the morphogene, drums are far from the only sound source available for this kind of mangulation. What would you modulate? let us know in the comments.